Hey y'all, it's Stephanie. Today we are cleaning my room and maybe the rest of my house. I don't really know. I need a body double because I've been so busy doing all these other things, and there's all these things on my mind that I feel like I need to talk about, and it's breaking it down. It's like such a long story, but realizing it now, it's really maybe it's not that long. Anywho, I'm also going to eat, so if that bothers you, I'm sorry. This morning I was drinking my tea in my bathroom and I was smoking. And I don't know if I was, and I keep thinking about like the devil. Recently I watched this video of this young man and he was talking about how he was an atheist and all these things happened to him and the devil possessed this girl that he was trying to hook up with and just the craziest story, bro. And he's like, this is where horror movies come from, this is where they get it from. And the devil tried to trick him into giving him his soul. And he said no, that I make no deals with the devil. And the devil threw a temper tantrum, it seemed like, and just trashed his house and told him to go. like, oh yeah, like, baby. And then I'm like, dang. And it's making me think about all these things, like all these, like I knew it, like, it was like about, and then the night before I saw this video of this girl talking about how she's starting her channel and she's been on this 3-year journey with Jesus, like making her into his likeness, or okay. And I was like, yeah, that's like my last awakening was that time. And I remember I've always been trying to figure out God and understand why I'm here. And I had ideas that everything's connected and we're here to love each other and take care of each other and love the earth and not be how it is. And like I just didn't understand why everything was so twisted and like the mind control was so intense, and like the more that I knew, and it just kept spiraling. And then I got so scared for a while. Like I was scared the government was gonna take my kids, and I'm like, I can't handle this shit. So, and then on top of not even being in good relationships and good dynamics all around, like what? So yeah, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I like have been on this mission to find out who I am, and you know, I knew that I was more than what I was, and I'm not meant to be so depressed and down and suicidal and hating life and not seeing the potential all around and the beauty all around. And I don't think that any of us are meant to live that way. And cycling out and getting out of my own cycles, getting out of my own stories and programs and traps, like realizing that this world really is spiritual and it's a spiritual battle every day. And the choices you make give you your power or your tower. And it does, like, they say that you allow it in, right? No one would allow that in. But it is like narcissism, like it's a trick. If you knew what it really was, you would have never allowed it in. And that's why it's disguised in all these different ways, and all these different levels, and all these different avenues to try to get you no matter where you are. But knowing that you are, your essence is so strong, so beautiful, so powerful, that you can get through it. You're meant to. You are made to. That's why they fight so hard to get you. You know? That's why they fight so hard to break you. That's why they do the thing. That's why the world is exactly the way that it is. I'm not even cleaning yet. The clock is ticking, right? Is that the game too? The longer that I play around, thinking that I have time, the longer that I'm doing things but not quite doing all the things, just not quite fulfilling the purpose, a little bit but not fully. And imagine the changes that could be made when you fully step into your power and loving intent for yourself and the world and everyone that you meet, regardless of how they show up towards you. You know? And it doesn't matter how they are misinterpreting your actions or your non-actions. It's that if you show up in forgiveness and love and hope and faith and just trust and support for yourself, it doesn't matter. Like, to be so balanced in your masculine and your feminine, to be so balanced in your pure essence of who you are and what you're meant to be, to fix like all the distortion and rise above all the traps. For a long time I like made it so much harder on myself because I felt like I needed to or could be or should be way beyond where I was. And why is it so hard? And why does it keep getting so hard? And why am I getting past all this stuff and just keep going and going like it never stops? But I didn't realize like that's it. It's never going to stop, and that's just how it is. And with that, you can rest and find your peace and contentment and joy in the everyday despite the chaos, and accepting who you are, where you've been, your lack of action, misaction, blah blah blah. Because I've been like, I don't even know if anyone's gonna be able to hear this or if it's ridiculous, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, okay. So I always get tripped up on like the Bible because I grew up in a Christian home and kind of like we went to church a little bit, but my grandma prayed. I don't know what I'm doing with that stuff. I don't know. Anyways, like my grandma taught me about some stuff, but I didn't learn about like spiritual warfare. Like every day's a battle. Like I knew kind of, but I didn't really know. You know, I didn't understand how deep everything really goes. Because I don't think that anyone else really knew. And I feel like maybe it wasn't the time to, how like God knows the plan for everything, and God knows, like, it's like a trick. It's like a trick to the devil, it's a trick to everyone to see like where you fall, right? Are you gonna fall and like work towards the higher aspects of yourself and getting past those generational traps and traumas, getting past the stories that we tell ourselves, getting past the, well, my whole family is alcoholic, so I'm that's why I can't get past it. My dad was angry, and that's why I can't get past it. It's we all have different aspects of ourselves that we hide from the world, that we um, good or bad, that we don't always express in the healthy ways or at all. And I think we're all just being guided to live out those healthier ways of being, those healthier thoughts within ourselves and with the world, to love each other, support each other, take care of each other. Like, we're human. Like, why, like, if you were on the street, freezing cold, and you didn't have anything, imagine what a sandwich would do. Imagine what a hot coffee would do. Imagine what a blanket would do. Imagine what a night in someone's home with a cover and a heater and a full night and a full belly in a safe place to sleep would do. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to see people as people, but when you're so disconnected and you can't see yourself in healthy, loving ways, I do understand that it's hard to see other people as people and to care about one another because you're not able to care for yourself. And that's okay, that's where you're at. But you don't have to stay there. You don't have to think that's the only option, and there are better ways of living. It might seem like, oh, everyone's out to get me, and if I don't take revenge, or if I don't find my ways to get what I need, not caring about anyone else, that's the only way I'm going to survive. But I promise you, that's not it. You don't have to do that. Like, yeah, it sucks. Like, it sucks when people purposely hurt you and purposely actively mess your life up and steal all your stuff or take all your money or just lie on you. Like, I know there's like bazillions of things that people do, and I've probably dealt with all of them, and I've even been some of those negative things to people in my younger years, like not knowing, just not knowing, when you grow up surrounded by that stuff and that's how you see the world because that's all you've seen. I get it. Like, how could you know anything different? If that's all you're around and you have no way to get anywhere else or see anything else. And yeah, we have the internet, but the internet feeds you things that you already see, and the media feeds you things that brainwash your mind and keep you stuck and distorted and keep you distracted from yourself and keep you distracted from the reality, you know? And maybe people could say that I'm distracted from reality, I'm distorted because I'm not taking note of all the things that are in the world. But I very much am. that just made me think that, we all just need more love and compassion and care. But that also led me to think about recently I was researching the Bible a little more, as I tend to do in cycles, as I do everything, and it's like I learn things and I forget and then I relearn them, or I don't know, but I feel like I've learned this before and it just didn't stick, and now it's sticking. So, yeah. Hi, Helmet. So there's the story of Adam and Eve in the garden, and how the serpent came into the garden and tricked her with the apple, right? And so I thought for a while with the snake. How do I don't know the rules of the internet. And it's so ridiculous. But that he had sex with her, and that he's actually a reptilian, right? That it's not. This is so wild. But the more that I learn, the more that I realize I don't think it's that crazy. There's all these other religions that have like snake gods and serpent gods that can like transhuman, right? And there's also the conspiracy about reptilioids, however you want to say it. And then just the whole, like, it really is wilder than I ever imagined. And then I come back to it, like, what if none of it matters? But I think that it does. So, right. So I've always been trapped up, like, why is the government the way that it is? The Catholic Church the way that it is? Why is there's so much pedophilia everywhere? Why is it so like in the church and everything? Like it's all a brainwashed, jacked up system, right? That starts from this religion or these religions, not just one, multiple, all over the earth, and there's a story of the Nagas and the snakes, and they're like snake human hybrids, and they live underground. They live in the middle.